cold today. Extremely cold. Like a high of 15, 16 degrees cold. And I'm going hunting like an idiot. We'll see how it goes. It's January 20th. We're coming down to the wire here in Ohio. I got about 2 weeks left to hunt, archery only. I got a doe tag in my pocket, so I'm trying to fill that doe tag here before the end of the year. But with that said, I picked a great day. I figured I'd go over my pack real quick just to show you guys what I've been using for pretty much the entire year, especially for you self-filmers, because I think you'll find it kind of interesting. I'm using the tethered fast pack, which I absolutely love this. I have this, I'm not sure what they call it, but it's from Backwoods Mobile Gear, their website. They make these little packs where you can hold your saddle platforms. Depending on the type of saddle platform, they'll make it kind of custom for you. So this thing's been pretty sweet. I'll show you how I use that in a second. But in this top pouch, one hand is a little hard, sorry, I keep, microphones essentially. So I got some of my external mics. I have my shotgun microphone in here. I use one of those Rode Pro mics, I guess. I think that's what it's called. But that's been a pretty sweet spot to keep that. I also got some extra batteries in some of these side pockets here. Just keeping a little neoprene pouch. I got a couple different rainproof things, which definitely come in handy. Flashlight. This is my camera. I am not sure what this thing is called, but I keep my camera in here. It's a waterproof kind of padded bag. And it's been awesome. And I just slide that down in lens first, and it's pretty darn protected. I have a cruiser knee pad that I'll put on top of the camera, just like so. And that kind of protects the camera below it. And that's where my fourth arrow base comes in and goes on top. And if I'm going for a long hunt, I can keep all kinds of other stuff on top of here. I can put my extra battery, my external battery up here. It's pretty big. But that's how I kind of pack the main compartment here. Let me zip it up. Sorry, trying to do this one-handed. I keep all of my, different hooks and screw-in steps and, my GoPro mounts and everything in one of these side packs. I also have this one that I use a lot for public land. I've actually been using it for private a lot too, because it's pretty handy. And then this side, I have my release. I have some clippers for when I'm hunting private land. I'm not going to try and open that up, but a couple other things, headlamp and whatnot. But then we come to the front here, and this, like I said, has been pretty freaking awesome. Let me set this camera up so you can see what I'm doing with two hands real quick. All right, so what's really cool about this is I have all these different straps that I can change how how tight it is. I can open it up, but I have expanding straps on the bottom too. And what I'll usually do, this year I've been using these Latitude speed sticks, these carbon ones. I was using 3 all year, which was just fine, but once it gets cold and all the leaves fall off, I added a 4th stick. But these have sat on the bottom of my pack just like so, and you kind of cinch them up here all year, and it has been absolutely so easy and simple, out of the way. Sorry, you're probably crooked. Absolutely awesome. And then I got my outer jacket I'm bringing with me today. Like I said, you can expand this top, slide. I could probably loosen these a little bit. Slide whatever you want in here. Like this is a Solitude jacket from First Light, so that fits in there. And then you have these side straps. I can kind of cinch these down, tighten it up, and tighten this bottom one up one more time. And that's my self-filming, whole setup right there, saddle setup. I'm walking out into this crap today with that on my back, so we'll see how that goes. But I thought maybe you guys would find this cool. If you guys have any questions about any of the gear I'm actually using, sorry I suck with names. I'll try to put a lot of this stuff in the description, but I'll probably miss something. So let me know if you have any questions. Other than that, I'm gonna get hunting. So excuse all the ice in my mustache. It's freezing as soon as the air comes out of my mouth. But we'll see you guys in the tree. Well, this is pretty promising. Excuse the heavy breathing, but it's probably hard to see with the GoPro. But there's a whole bunch of deer sign in here. Really gets me excited. There's a lot of deer in here. A lot of tracks. Look at them all coming out of here. I mean, there's a ton down there. I think I'm gonna, and you gotta remember it's been snowing all day and it's been super windy, but there's a bunch of tracks coming out here, but then there's a ton of tracks coming out down here a little further. Look at all this. This is all deer in here eating leftover beans, believe it or not. This looks pretty promising. I mean, there's a ton of tracks up around that. Looks like they missed a little circle of beans up there. There's a ton of them up there. I'm kind of liking that tree right there. You're not going to get a lot of... I mean, look at all this. We got to get in here somewhere. There's a couple trees in here, so we'll see. Let me see what this wind's doing. It's just blowing straight out, so if they get past me, I'm screwed. But I think one of those is definitely the tree. All right. I think we found our tree. Let's climb. Stay tuned. I'm having all kinds of battery problems out here. The cold weather is not good for batteries, I'll tell you that much. We'll see. What is going on, guys? Excuse the ice in my beard. It is freaking cold out here. And excuse the goofy noise. I got my mic under my hat, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. But yeah, it's freaking cold. But I'm feeling pretty confident about tonight. I mean, there's just a ton of deer tracks in here. The only thing, the neighbor was out doing donuts on his four-wheeler while I was setting up, but I don't think that's going to bother these deer, to be honest. I couldn't even hear the four-wheeler. I could just see him out there. He's that far away. There's a whole bunch of tracks out in the field, out in front of us. All we need is one of these deer to walk right here and should be able to make something happen. So I think we're probably going to see some deer. It's probably going to be right at dark. And normally I'm filming a whole bunch of B-rolls, cool birds or squirrels or whatever for you guys to watch, but frankly it's too cold for that shit, so I'm not taking my hands out of this kangaroo pouch and moving this camera until I got a deer walking in. So instead I got an idea. I got a whole bunch of footage from throughout the year that I never released or put in anything, and some of that video is our good old buddy John killed a nice buck back in November. I haven't done anything with it just because it's really only the recovery video. I was with him in spirit. I was 400 or 500 yards away in another tree, so I didn't get any kill shot on camera or anything like that, but got the recovery and John's reaction and everything. So this seems like a pretty good place to put that film, so enjoy that. back in warmer times. And I'm going to sit here freezing my ass off. Hopefully get some deer coming in here a little bit. And if they do, I'll bring it back. If not, I'll probably still bring it back and say bye. But yeah, we'll see you in a little bit. Enjoy. Good morning, everybody. I'm back out here in the woods with a doe tag in my pocket. It is a cool, crisp, calm, beautiful morning. It's Saturday after Thanksgiving. I got John here with me today. We decided to split up this morning. He is set up about 300 yards to the south of me on a really good pinch point. John's still looking to fill his buck tag, so he's in a really good spot, I think, to catch a cruiser. This time of year, guys, if you haven't filled your buck tag and you've given up already, that's a big mistake. Like, this is one of the best times of the year to catch a mega giant zombie daywalker on his feet. They've been cruising for, breeding does for almost a month now. They're tired. They're not paying attention, and those big old mature bucks are the ones that are still out looking for does actively because they have, conserved their energy. They've been through this a couple times. They know how it goes. The little bucks, they, shoot their wad early. Those big mature 4, 5, 6-year-old bucks, this is a good time to catch them looking for the last remaining does. There goes a deer. That was a big buck. Way out there, real thick. Moving between me and John, headed towards John. That was a big deer. Anyways, I guess we'll see what happens. I literally wouldn't shoot a deer the rest of the year if it meant John would fill his buck tag. I want it to happen so bad for the guy. He's had a pretty rough year. Which I think if you've bow hunted long enough, we've all had years like that, where just nothing you seem to do is right and it just doesn't come together for you. More years like that than good years, honestly. And if you haven't, then you're lying. It's just a perfect day for bucks to be cruising. Perfect day.
Oh, buddy.
Did you get him?
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
Did you get him?
Oh, buddy. Yeah, I smashed him.
Yes, dude. Yes, I saw him. He came by me at 100 yards, just cruising right to you. The only thing I was worried about was the wind. I was like, his wind's going to be blowing right at him. What happened?
Nope. It just skirted him. And I'm in a perfect tree. A little skinny, maybe 8 to 10 inch. This soft ash or something? But I've got a beech tree behind it. So I've literally got a big back screen.
Yeah.
And I'm literally on that trail you said it's like halfway up the hill.
Yep.
I'm literally on top of it.
Oh, are you? Okay.
And I was expecting him to come the other way, but he came down the ridge on that trail, right at me.
Yep.
And he stopped twice, maybe at like 60 yards, and scanned and looked. I'm like, oh, but I'm like, there's no way, because I've got all these beech leaves right, literally in front of me. And then he came down, and I drew, and I had him at 22 yards.
Oh, yeah.
And I was but he was literally nose to the ground, heading like right at me. And then he looked right up, like right at me as I'm drawing on him. And I was gonna shoot him right in the chest, straight on. And then I didn't. I just waited, because I'm like, be patient. But I'm like, there's nowhere else for him to go. And then he turned and quartered too hard. Like, he got off the trail. Like, I don't know if he he just got uncomfortable and like hopped, and I went, Ram. And he stopped and looked up, and I buried it right in his front shoulder, and he like spun around and did a 180, and right in the middle center mass, still in the ribs, I saw a big like baseball of pink.
Oh.
So it came out his back lungs.
Oh, good.
Back lung.
Good. Where'd he run?
He ran back maybe 40 yards and went straight down the hill, and I heard a bunch of crashing, and then it stopped.
Oh, so he's dead.
Yeah, but I can't see him.
That's all right. You stay there. I'll
But I can see the arrow, and it's drenched in blood. I got him in the lungs. Because I literally saw a baseball, on his backside, the outlet side.
Just bubbling.
And it was just, pink.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Sounds like a dead deer.
He's past his years. He had to turn his head twice to come down the trail.
Yeah, I think I might know who that deer is. I only saw him for, I don't know, 6 seconds. But I think I might know who he is. We'll have to go through some pictures if we find him. But can you climb down and get out of there, you think? Or are you just going to sit there?
Yeah, I can.
All right, well, climb down. I'll meet you down here where I dropped you off at.
Yep, okay.
All right, I'll see you in a little bit.
All right, bye.
Bye. Yeah, baby.
That's so funny, dude. I saw that deer.
Relentless.
I was literally, dude, it's a story of absolute persistence.
Oh, man. Unbelievable.
Hit the rock.
Yeah, unbelievable. Oh.
Feel like you crushed him?
Crushed him.
Cool.
Crushed him. Oh, man.
Oh, you tore that thing down?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're that confident, huh?
Yes.
All right.
It was still gray light, so it was hard to pick a tree. All the ones I wanted were dead, but I ended up picking a live tree, but I grabbed one of these it was right next to one of these beeches.
Okay.
So I picked it. It was only maybe 8 inches around. Climbed up, felt confident that it would be hidden. If they would hug the swamp, I wasn't going to get him. It's a really good spot. But so I saw him, and he stopped at like 60 and was scanning the whole bottom. But he was on that trail. So I got spun around, set up, and he got into 22. And I was able to draw because he was behind a couple of trees. But he was literally facing me, nose on the ground. And he looked up and, scanned. I don't know if he looked through me or what. But I was full draw, and I was going to take a frontal shot. That's all I had. And patience, we talked about patience. So I just didn't do it and held off. And he ended up jumping off the trail and started to make his way like this up and over. And I stopped him at 14. And it was my last bit because I had all this beech tree behind me.
14 yards.
14 yards. I put it on the bottom of his brisket and flap, pop. And he spun around and went back the way he came. He went back that way. Spun around, and I saw his exit wound. Yeah, and all I saw was a baseball of pink blood.
Good.
And that's on his exit side. And it was right in the center mass of him. So quartering 2, center mass out. He was at pace. He was covering ground. So he wasn't smelling every inch of every step.
When I saw him, he had his head up. He wasn't even smelling. And he was just breathing hard. Just
working his way.
Yeah.
I know when he was walking through, he was ducking and sticking his head through up the trail. I haven't felt this feeling of wanting to put my hands on something so bad. I mean,
dude, I saw that deer, and I literally turned the camera on. I'm like, I just had a big buck cruise. It's headed right towards John. I was like, cross my fingers, man. Because I was in the dumbest tree. You'll see. We'll have to get my stand when we're walking out of here. I don't know. I just set up. Like, literally, I was just like, come on, John.
Yeah. I'm here for support.
What a hell of a freaking morning, guys. Look at this deer. I can't believe that. John came through, man. Just the fact that he's stayed so resilient and, you know, hasn't given up and just has kept that, like, excited, you know, want to go hunting spirit this far into deer season after, you know, a miss and a shot and not finding one. Pretty impressive, man. I'm super pumped and thankful for, you know, able to share this with him, man. It was pretty freaking cool. Just to kind of recap, while he's running down and grabbing the stuff we left at the bottom of the hill, John was sitting in a tree right down here on the side of this hill. You can see there's a big beaver pond out here in this real steep hill like this, and we got an east wind. So what that buck was doing was cruising the side of this hillside, smelling. He was literally scent checking this entire swamp as he was working up through there. I know there's a really good doe bedding area up a little further up this ridge, so he could have been headed that way too, but it's a spot that you really wouldn't think as like textbook, but it works, man. I was walking up that hill like 4 times.
Well worth it.
Yeah, man. That's sweet. That's a good sight right there. You got a long roll ahead of you, bud.
Yeah, buddy.